Good morning, everyone. This is Pauline Chung. I'm with the San Mateo Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm your Director of Communications and Marketing. And this morning for Business Essentials, we have Eli Poblitz. He's a transition specialist with the San Mateo Union High School District. So today he's going to talk about work-based learning. He has various background supporting the special education since 2002, and he entered education after working in the corporate and nonprofit sectors. So he's been at the San Mateo Union High School District, that's where my son went through school, since 2011 as a vocational specialist in support of short and long-term employment goals for students who are 16 years and older. So I'm very excited to hear more about his program and how us in the community can support him. So I'm going to turn it over to Eli, and you're welcome to stay on mute. It looks like you're probably in your car, both Jim and Dan.
No, actually, I'm not. So.
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, thank you for taking the time out. I know everyone's super busy, especially after a 3-day weekend. My name is Eli Poblitz, and I do work for San Mateo Union High School District. My role with the district is called Transition Specialist. And so with the transition in my job title, that refers to helping students transition from life in high school to life after high school. And when, the population of students I serve are those with disabilities, and, the continuum of disabilities is from, it's from, very light disability, or, you might have your ADHD or learning disability, or processing disabilities, to some of the more moderate to severe disabilities, which might include intellectual disabilities and autism. And, with, the current average of, when you look at a student population across any high school in California, I mean, approximately 10 to 12% have been, deemed to have some kind of learning difference. And, so that's a pretty significant portion. So, I mean, our district, I forget the exact count, but, we have around 8,000 students between the 7 high schools that span from San Bruno to San Mateo. And, the students in special education probably, are, with 10 to 12% of that, is hovering right around 1,000. I work with the students who are 16 and over. And I work with the continuum students. Many of my students are, graduating right now, and they're ready to go to the community college system in a couple months from now, in August. They'll be starting and getting the supports of, the community college system and their disability resource center to keep on moving forward towards their career goals. And, there's been studies that have been put on, decades ago, showing that students with disabilities were underemployed, not really reaching their potential, and either unemployed or underemployed in a way that just didn't make sense. And so, the government, our state, local, and federal government put more resources towards giving students access to employment, and, whether it's the soft skills and training in class, or the actual work experience of being out in the community and gaining work skills. And that is, those work experiences is really what fosters success. Those students who get work experiences earlier in their life do better. The studies and statistics are out there for just showing that the earlier that students have work experience, the better. So I'm going to share my screen and go into my slideshow. Let me see. Let me get to the slide. One second. Okay. Let me move. I just got to move us around. Okay. So, with the schools I serve, it's, we have all 7 campuses of San Mateo. So like I said, Aragon, Burlingame, Cappuccino, Hillsdale, Mills, Peninsula High School, and San Mateo High. It's we cover the whole peninsula. And next slide. So when students do work-based learning, what happens is I have 3 different funding sources that I can work with that pays for student wages. So what students have is they have an exploratory work experience to earn entry-level employment skills. So, what happens is whoever is the funding stream, that pays for the student wage, and it's typically at minimum wage. And because the students are paid at minimum wage, they have a third-party employer of record. Most times it's our school district that is the employer of record. Sometimes with one of my programs, it's another agency that I work with that is the employer of record. But what happens is when a student is employed by a third party, such as our school district, the workers' comp and liability kick in. So when employers open their doors to allow for an exploratory work experience, one of the things that's covered is the workers' comp and liability. So, because I know that's a concern for many employers. So that's one thing that's taken care of. When students do an entry-level work-based learning experience in the community, the first thing that kind of starts everything is that either me or one of my team would work with an employer to set up a simple training agreement, which just basically outlines, what the roles and responsibility would be for the business and what the roles and responsibility would be for our staff to support the student in the business, and just what the various entry-level tasks would be that the student would be expected to learn. It says build confidence, build community. Work-based learning experiences have been shown to be one of the strongest predictors of adult employment success for students and youth with disabilities. And like I said, the studies just show it, and it's more than studies. Since I have been in this, field for 20 years, I've seen several of my students from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, who are managers at different stores, who are in the community, who are doing great for themselves, who have done, tremendous, on their growth as an employee and in their career development. And those same students, if they see me in the community, if I'm getting gas next to them, and they're like, "Wait, is that Mr. Poblitz?" They always thank me or thank, the school for their initial work experience. They say, "Gosh, I remember the first work experience I had, and I didn't believe in myself. And, that first work experience really, really kind of changed, my pathway." So it's really, really powerful, to affect lives like this. Employers, when they do open their doors for work experience, they have zero obligation to hire the students after. So, whether you're a hardware store or an insurance company, whatever you are, as a business owner, if you want to allow this young adult, to learn some entry-level skills in your business, so I'll talk about the different amounts of hours that students can work, but, after that experience, there is no obligation. The student's not expecting to be hired at the business. There is no pressure or obligation to hire the student. But, on the flip side of that, when a student goes through their allotted hours, that you do have a pre-screened candidate. So, if you happen to be working with a student, they've put in 100 hours or 200 hours and you have a position open, you can say, "Gosh, I know they're already a solid candidate. I'm going to encourage them to put an application in." So it's a great pre-screening process, and if there is a match, and then outside of that, there's just a no risk, obligation to move forward with a hire. The main thing is that students have this space within your business to just be able to kind of to grow and learn what it's like to be an employee. And expectation wise, we expect you to treat them like an employee. If whatever you would want out of any new hire, entry-level new hire, we would want those expectations put in place for whatever student. So we want them to learn, we want them to be challenged, we want them to learn and have some discipline. And so if we try to teach them the soft skills in class about, not using a cell phone while at work, or not doing this and not doing that. But sometimes they need to hear it from the boss. And, that's why this is such a valuable experience that they get, in the community when they are able to do a work-based learning experience. And then opening your work-based learning experience is a great opportunity to gain, positive press or public relations. So Oftentimes in San Mateo Journal, there's a lot of stories on, San Mateo Union High School District. It seems like we're on that paper a lot, but our own district, we put out newsletters to families. And like I said, with 7,000 or 8,000 families, that's a lot of e-newsletters are going out. So one of the things I try to do when businesses are partnering with us is make sure that our community, our families know which businesses are, creating this opportunity for our future workers of America, by just opening their business for, a training opportunity, for an exploratory work experience. So, so I really do look for the different ways I can kind of give back to businesses by offering, any kind of press or public relations. I already mentioned this, workers' comp is provided. So I just know that's a concern for many. Yep, I already mentioned all these. Let me move my thing. Okay, so right now, when it comes to work-based learning options, there's a brand new summer program that I'm working with an agency. It's called NovaWorks. Some of you may have heard of NovaWorks. They are our workforce development board in San Mateo County, and they have a young adults program that's been really successful down in the South Bay. And I approached NovaWorks and said, hey, how come we don't have something like that up here for San Mateo? And they said, hey, if you're willing to, kind of put in the legwork, we can try something for the summer. So this summer, there's a brand new program where students, starting next week, they're going to have 3 weeks of class doing job, like what's called a job club, where they learn soft skills and spruce up their resume, practice interview questions, have guest speakers, and just have basically just more development towards career preparation and workplace readiness. And after the 3-week Zoom class that these young adults, and these actually recent graduates of our high schools are going to be in, they launch into work-based learning for up to 200 hours over the summer. So students can work up to 25 hours a week, from pretty much, that says July 21st. It should have said June 21st. So students can work from June 21st through August 23rd, up to 25 hours a week. And that is going to be paid by NovaWorks. And that experience, this is a brand new program. So it's kind of a lot of hours in a short period of time. And they don't have to do 25 hours a week. It could be 5 hours a week. It could be 10. There's a lot of flexibility for how much work-based learning would be available. But this is a brand new program. And we have about 18 recent graduates across our different high schools who are participating in the Summer Employment Academy. So it's really exciting. And it's one of the things that's prompted me to reach out to the chamber, because I'm looking for as many business partnerships as I can get to make sure that these students have a work-based learning experience. Outside of the summer program, which is a pilot program and new, throughout the school year, with my typical role and my normal job with the school district, I'm able to get students into 100 hours of paid work experience in different businesses. So I have a pretty large funding source, and I can get, I think over 50 students throughout the school year into 100-hour work experience. It's so that's a lot of different opportunities for students that I could be leveraging with the money. So, once again, when students get paid, they get paid through a third-party source. This is not, on any of the employer's, payroll. And after the 100 hours, it would stop. And once again, there would be no obligation to hire the students. Outside, so those last couple of work experiences I was talking about, whether it was 200 hours over the summer, whether it's 100 hours, during next school year, those are individual placements I was talking about. So that would be putting, one student into your business, and that student would be working after school hours. So, the support for that student to be successful, in the very beginning, we would probably have a staff member just to help kind of with orientation and make sure that students comfortable, that they're there on time, that they look right, that they, who the manager is. But there wouldn't be an ongoing support with those individual placements. Those would really rely on the business to say, hey, we have a point of contact in our business to be, a mentor or someone who this student should be checking in with. Outside of the individual placements, which was that 100 or 200 hours, I have small group work-based learning, and this is for our more moderate to severe students. So our students with more substantial disabilities, which, it might be a physical disability, many times it's intellectual disabilities, or it might be autism. And so those students, typically part of their curriculum and part of their framework of their education is that they have a vocational component. So those students, they are, expected to have employment opportunities, throughout their 18 through 22-year-old, the ages of 18 to 22. So students who do not get a diploma at 18 because their disability is too substantial, what happens is they stay with our school district until they're 22. And it's like that across California. That it's the school district's responsibility to continue to prepare these young adults for life after high school. And so these 18 through 22-year-olds, what their curriculum looks like is a lot more life skills based. And so they might be cooking, they might be accessing the community, but one big slice of their pie is just work skills. And so this other opportunity is a small group opportunity, which would happen during the school day. And what happens typically is we have 2 to 4 students who would go with one of our staff from San Mateo Union, and that staff would be a job coach. So if they went into a business, the job coach would be trained on the entry level expected duties, and then the students would perform those, and the job coach would be pretty much the supervisor. So this is just another way to work with our school district, and this is the students in these programs are just awesome. It just brings joy to almost any business to be working with these students. They're so appreciative. They're such hard workers, and like I said, it's almost until you see it, it's kind of even hard to describe how awesome they are. So this is just another opportunity that you do have to work with us. I am going to play a video. I'm going to make sure. Let me see. I want to make sure that you guys can hear the video though. So I'm going to go off for a second and make sure my sound settings are correct. Yeah, share sound. Okay. It's only a 4-minute video, so let me know if you cannot hear the sound.
It's really good for business when there's a place at the table for everybody to work. And when that happens, it's community at its finest.
So investing in our communities is really helping our workforce. It's building customer loyalty, which helps our business and would help any business.
If an employer's thinking of it, I would say go in with an open mind and be willing to work with somebody's talents and to look at those talents and how they can help you as an organization.
What works for one business may be different for another business.
The point of the program is to really acclimate students into a real-life working environment.
Whether you're a small business or large business, the Workability One program can work for you.
We have a lot of businesses that we've made business relationships with.
I've experienced students working in child development centers, in veterinarian offices,
Personal gyms, a comic book store.
big box stores such as Walmart to Round Table Pizza.
We just try to get real creative.
Davis High School approached us about having kids come to work for us to help them get ready for the real world. And we thought it was a good idea.
Before they go into real workforce, they get the idea, okay, this is work. They are assigned to something, if they finish it, somebody's watching them.
It's a win-win that helps our bottom line without impacting our payroll.
It saves a lot of liability issues too.
If we have an opportunity to recruit and retain high-quality staff through a program like Workability, that entire startup cost was subsidized by the program.
Throughout the state of California, the Workability team does a fantastic job with preparing the students.
We worked with the Workability staff and job coaches closely before the Workability students came on site.
They do a meet and greet prior to placing a student. They prepare the students on soft skills and technical skills.
Our goal is to have them working side by side with our students in all of the same jobs that our students do. So it might be at the equipment room, it might be at the front desk, swiping patrons in, telling them to have a great workout.
Cleaning the store, mopping the store, talking to customers when they walk by.
Washing windows, vacuuming floors, setting tire pressure.
Students come in, do some of the clamshells and the labeling. We also have them do some of the boxes for us.
They can bake cupcakes for me, they can frost for me, they can help customers for me.
We placed a student at our equestrian center who had a particular affinity for horses, so it was a fantastic fit.
Our store managers love the students from the workability program, and one of the reasons why is they're so willing to learn.
The interaction with the students and the employees has been really good.
At first look or perception, you may see someone that's so much different. However, through just a little bit of effort, you can find that open door to then have interactions that are really, really meaningful.
It's real rare that it doesn't work out because we went in there and said, hey, can you tell me what's going on? How is it for you? So it becomes a learning experience, not only for our student, but the people that they're working with.
I think if you have general success in employee relations, employee management, and leadership, a workability employee would be a fantastic addition to your team.
It's a win-win situation where the student feels like they matter and they're making a difference because they truly are making a difference.
It's not only the right thing, but we have the opportunity to hire dependable young adults that will really want to work.
The rewards are definitely worth any challenges you might experience.
It's amazing that these students have so much happiness in them. I think get choked up, sorry.
I've actually been honored to be a participant in the program. I would love to have more workability students.
Workability, I think, brings together the people that need jobs.
Oh. All right, 1 second. Okay, let me get back to my. So that was a great overview of like what work-based learning might look like for employers, and several different types of work-based learning that have happened. That was made by the California Department of Education. We also have a workability program in our school district too. So everything we do kind of represents what you guys just saw in that video. And I know that we're at 10:24, so I would rather take questions right now than to keep on kind of blabbing on to you guys. So I'd love to see if you guys have any questions about how work-based learning works.
Yeah, feel free to unmute and ask your questions. We had Amy join during your presentation, and also David Flagg.
Hi, Amy. Hi, David.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me. Sorry I was late.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, thanks. So hopefully you're able to kind of see that video. It's nice. It's a well-produced video that really does kind of highlight the spirit of what work-based learning looks like. So do any of you guys have any questions or interest in next steps with work-based learning?
Well, yeah, this is Amy again. I was just curious if there's any match, because I missed the beginning, so I wasn't going to pipe in, but are you matching kids with things that they want to do potentially in the future?
Yeah, we definitely try. So that's, we're trying, we do interest inventories. So we do like assessments and just, meet with the students to figure out what they want to do. And, sometimes it's very specific and sometimes it's very broad. But yeah, we try to place these students in the different businesses based on interest and or strengths.
Great, thank you.
Eli, this is David Flagg. I'm sorry. I apologize also because I jumped in towards the middle. Are all of your positions geographic that the student has to come into the office, or are some of them virtual, like so many of us are working now?
Yeah, right now we definitely have flexibility for virtual. So yep, it could be virtual or in office. Ideally, we do want students to be kind of in the community and working alongside, other neurotypical, employees. But right now with how things are, we are definitely looking at any kind of work experience we can.
Okay. So is there, at the end of your presentation, is there some kind of a process that we as potential employers then have to fill out an app or something like that, or go through?
Yeah. So I'll share my email in chat. And so, yep, with, we could just move forward with an email.
And what high schools do you represent in San Mateo?
All of them. I represent from Cappuccino to Mills to Aragon, all 7 of our high schools.
Got it. In the San Mateo Union High School District.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna put my email in the chat. And then I will share the presentation with Pauline too. So in the presentation, there will also be an email.
And did you want the people online to introduce their businesses to see what you might have that might fit them, Eli?
Oh, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Go ahead, David. Introduce your business.
So my name is David Flagg, and I run Flagg Insurance Services. We are a retail and business-to-business insurance agency located on 37th Avenue in San Mateo. I'm primarily a farmer's agent, but I also am very fortunate in that I'm appointed with many, many other companies to help whatever my customer needs are, whether it be small business, life insurance, personal insurance. We're very, very fortunate. We represent like 35 different companies.
Oh, wow.
Been in business for coming up on 20 years now.
Okay,
Oh,
thank
nice.
you. Wow, thank you, David. Dan, would you like to make a short intro?
Yeah, hi, I'm Dan Strickland. Again, I'm the Director of Business Development with Home Helpers of San Mateo. We provide in-home care to the San Mateo County area. So we start at South San Francisco and go all the way down to Menlo Park and all the way over to the coast. We provide caregivers and support for new moms, recently discharged, and disabled.
Okay, and Jim Delatorre.
Yeah. Hey, Eli, thanks. Great presentation. I'm the owner of Delatorre Insurance Services. We are big proponents of intern programs. We've done them in the past. We really like them. This is definitely a new twist. I think what we get, we really give these interns opportunities to really get into the areas of marketing. I mean, we really bring them into the fold. I think that comes from us being a family business, having 4 kids, and basically them all working with me through college, being able to develop programs to help them grow. I'm very interested in learning more about how some of these children might be able to fit into our model, because we do have it pretty geared up for young interns. We usually try to find summer interns to bring in, and so this is definitely new for me.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested to see if there's a way that the types of jobs that we have in place for interns, what kind of a fit there would be.
Awesome. Yep. So yeah, I mean, if you shoot me an email, we can explore.
Okay.
Great, thank you, Jim. And Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy Cook. I run a financial planning practice here in San Mateo. So I'm local, right over at the Barella State Building. Definitely interested to hear more and see if there might be a good fit. I've worked with interns in the past, and it's worked out really well. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, with your internships that you've already established, I mean, whatever the prerequisites or requirements that you normally would have for your interns, or whatever job duties you have, if you already have that kind of set up, it would be great to look that over, just to kind of see what you have in place. And then outside of what you may have, because with financial, I mean, I know a lot of you guys with insurance and financial is a little bit can be considered a little bit higher level for even my students who are getting diplomas, not all of them or anything, but there might be entry level projects that you have. It might be a marketing project where it might be website updating. There might be different things that you've never even thought about, that are just entry level duties and tasks that would really help your business. Like I said, whether it's for a big push or if it's just things around the office. So if it's a kind of a higher level internships that you have, I'd love to explore and see what you guys have. And if it's something outside of the box, the freedom is there, especially if you guys are hiring over the summer. You might be moving offices and need someone to help, and but we can make a job out of it. We can have clearly defined roles with it. So there's a lot of flexibility with the work-based learning to make it kind of fit for employers.
That's great. Is doing a background check any kind of an issue? Because that would be mandatory in my business.
Yeah, so there's mandatory fingerprinting and background check that happens with any of our students who are 18 and over.
Right, but if we needed to do our own.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, that'd be no problem. Yep.
Oh,
yep.
okay.
Not an issue.
So we just email you if we want to talk more about it?
Yeah, I think that'd be the best way. I mean, yep. I mean, just
Great.
email me, and then I can individualize my emails back to you, based on your different business needs. So I think that would be the best way to move forward.
Perfect. Thank you.
And Eli, you said the start date was June 21st. Is that what, did I hear that correct?
Yeah, it could be as early as June 21st for that summer program, which is up to 200 hours of work experience over the summer. And then otherwise there's the ongoing dates. Once we get back into school in early August, I'll have, the whole next fall and spring, I'll have, the availability to do up to 100 hours of work experience with my students.
Okay, great.
Great. Thank you very much. Does that wrap up our questions for today?
I have one more question. Are you okay with us spreading the word, as it were, to other potential employers that might want to take advantage of this?
Oh my God, that's my biggest hope. Yes. Spreading the word to different chamber members. I mean, I know, business, I love entrepreneurship. I know that when it comes to networking, you guys are it. So yeah, if you are spreading the word to anybody, that you think might want to provide a space for learning and a space for opportunity. Like I said, these students, when they get these, entry-level experiences, they just, when you see them, in years afterwards, I mean, they're just so appreciative of the opportunity, and it's a big deal. And what happens is it creates a ripple effect. I mean, it creates this positive ripple, for the student, for their family, and ultimately for the community. So it's such a powerful, positive way to give back to your community, is to just provide a space and opportunities for these young adults.
Yep, perfect. Cool, thanks.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Great question, David. So I will be getting the presentation from Eli. Also, this recording will be prepared and put on our YouTube channel. So we will be sharing.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you everyone so much. And yeah, if you ever want me back, just let me know.